I remember when I was probably 9 or 10, my Uncle Mike took me and my cousin to the zoo. We had a good time. We ate popcorn, we goofed around, we looked at the animals. But the lasting memory was when we went in to see the lemurs. They were behind darkened glass because, I don't know, maybe to mimic the rainforest canopy in Madagascar. This isn't about science. Anyway, we were looking around the enclosure, like kind of bending our necks to see every lemur when my uncle banged his forehead on the glass. It hurt, but we laughed. And then he jokingly said, "Listen, we should always put our fist on our forehead when we're looking for lemurs. Always remember that to avoid this kind of injury in the future." And we laughed more. It was like this silly moment. It was a sacred moment. It was a lasting moment, a moment that contains so many, for me, so many love filled emotions about my uncle and my cousin and my whole family. And to this day, I put my fist on my forehead when I'm at the zoo, and I've taught my kids to do the same thing. God is in those moments. I don't mean that in some weird, over religious way. I mean, there's nothing more transcendent and holy in our lives than those shared little moments that last forever and that contain an eternity's worth of happiness. There's this passage from the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient text from the Hindu tradition. It says this: when a person responds to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were his own, he has attained the highest state of spiritual union. I think about that little moment between my uncle and my cousin and myself so many years later. We could feel each other's forehead pain mixed with simultaneous laughter. That moment was such a flowing moment, a moment of just pure being. We weren't trying to connect, we just were. We weren't trying to make a memory, we just did. It was like this higher state of spiritual union sparked by a goofy moment of minor pain and shared laughter. I don't know. Now, maybe this memory is nothing. Maybe it's just a goofy little notch in my brain. Maybe it's nothing. But it feels like a direct experience of something divine to me, something transcendent, something ethereal, like it was a moment smothered in love. Here's a little blessing for your week. God of the cosmos and the unknowable expanses of the universe, help us feel each other's lives. Help us taste the bitterness and the sweet joys that others consume throughout their days. Help us sense the world that others are sensing, because when we share these experiences, we are one again with each other and with you. Amen. Between is about you. Take this message into your life this week and transform the world around you by filling the space between you and every person you encounter with God's love. My favorite church is the space between people. Now go with God's love and create the church between.